Hey everyone, it's Kaylin here, and thanks so much for visiting my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and I'm so happy that you're here with us. Today I have a great Pilates for seniors workout. So this workout is great for older people or really anybody that has trouble getting onto the mat due to other physical reasons or injuries. We're gonna stay seated, or we're gonna start seated and then come up to a standing position. This is gonna be a way to kind of focus on that posture and alignment, and still while moving the body and getting some mobility as well. So it should feel really nice, and we'll also do some nice low impact strengthening exercises too. So you're gonna need two things for this. We're gonna need a blanket or a towel, something thicker that you can lay over your chair towards the end of class. I would like you to get a chair, something that has a back on it. The only thing I have in here today is a stool. So I'll be using a foam roller for some of the standing work. You could use the back of the chair for that standing work to hold on to, and also like a wall or a countertop, something to just find some stability if you need it. But before we get started, I wanted to mention, if you are interested in supporting this channel so I can continue to offer these free videos to you all, there is a link in the description below. So if you get a chance to check that out, it is much appreciated. I love doing these videos, and I love being here with you all on the mat, and I appreciate every one of you so very much. So thank you. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start in a standing position. You can bring your blankets just off to the side. We won't need them just yet. And we're gonna start in a seated alignment, just trying to get this set up so that we know how to sit when we are seated. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. So when you're in your seat, kind of think of being towards the edge of your seat, not all the way back. And we wanna think of kind of first starting at the pelvis. So the pelvis obviously is nice and grounded into your chair. You might be able to feel your sitting bones reaching down into the chair. So one thing is, we don't want to be kind of rocking back towards the back edge of our sitting bones and leaning back and rounding. And we also don't want to be throwing our ribs forward so that we're arching our back. So we have our pelvis just straight up and down here. And then from there, moving up, we move up towards the ribs. So same thing with the ribs here, right? We don't want them behind the pelvis, rolling back, and we don't want them thrusting forward. So they are right over that pelvis. All right, and then moving up again, we come to the shoulders, and the shoulders tend to, for a lot of people, round forward, especially if we're not working on strengthening the back and opening the front of the chest and the shoulders. I want you to think of widening through the shoulders, but not so much that you pop the chest and the ribs and throw us out of alignment in the middle of our spine. So just nice and easy, kind of right up and down below the ears and above the ribs. Now, moving up the body, I just got ahead of myself. We've got the ears right over the shoulders. So what tends to happen is that the head might come forward a little bit so that the ears are forward over the shoulders, or that's more likely to happen than the head coming back. That doesn't usually happen too much, but we want to think of the ears right over the shoulders. You might need to even think of kind of drawing your chin back to bring your ears over those shoulders. Okay, so that's our alignment here. Now we're going to start breathing. So we're going to bring our hands onto our rib cage. I'm going to face forward, and we're going to take a deep breath in. Breathe into your hands, breathing into the ribs. So take an inhale here. And then exhale, think of drawing the ribs together with the exhale breath. Good, take a deep breath in, inhale. And then exhale, the ribs naturally come together, and you feel this tightening in your lower core, but without arching your back or your spine. So let's do that again. Deep breath in into the ribs, front to back, side to side. And then exhale, pull that belly button towards the spine, just tightening, almost like a corset wrapping around the whole middle part of your body. Let's do one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Pull it all together. All right, now from here, we're gonna get that upper body moving. So we're gonna kind of move in and out of this neutral spine position that we just created. So I want you to take your right arm up towards the ceiling, reach it nice and long, and then keep that right sitting bone nice and heavy as you reach up and over to the side. So a nice side bend. You should feel a good stretch here. And then come up through center, drop that arm down, bring the other arm up and over to the other side. Good, and we're gonna continue to do that motion, just stretching out that side body. When you come up and over, try not to round forward. So keep that chest open towards the front. Good, up through center and over. Your feet are nice and grounded here into the mat. So feel all four corners of your feet. And your legs are straight forward, so parallel with each other. All right, one more on the other side. Good, and bring it back to center. All right, now we're gonna take the arms forward, straight forward. We're gonna find a rotation here with the upper body. So stay growing tall. We're gonna send this left arm back behind you as you look over that left shoulder and twist. And then we come back to center, and then we switch to the other side. So right arm reaches back, we twist. Good, and back to center. You should feel some muscles working in that back, as well as in your sides, your rotational muscles. Inhale, open. Good, exhale, center. Let's do one more each side. Inhale, twist, grow tall. Exhale, center, last one. Good, and center. All right, now bring the hands down to the thighs. I'm going to face sideways again. Now we're gonna do some lower body, some lower back rounding. So we're just gonna think of kind of moving that lower spine. So find that neutral position with your spine. Take an inhale. On the exhale, I want you to think of rolling back just with the lower back, right? Just a tiny little bit. You feel your belly button pulling back towards your back. And then you inhale back up nice and tall. And then you exhale, scoop just the belly under as you think of kind of tucking your pelvis under the body, and then inhale, lift. I don't want too much movement in the upper body. So think of your upper body staying as is and just moving in that lower back. Okay, that's hard to do sometimes to separate the two, so do your best. Try to keep the shoulders back and down. Exhale, round that lower back. Good, inhale. Now it's almost like you're, squeezing your bottom as you round. So you should feel this tightening in your glutes. And then inhale, lift. Very nice. And now we're gonna get some bigger movement in that spine. So again, make sure you're towards the edge of your chair if you've scooted back a little bit. Now I want you to take an inhale, keep your hands on your knees, lift your chest up towards the ceiling, open through your shoulders. This is just a little bit of a bend, don't go too far. And then you're gonna exhale, round your spine. This time I do want you to accentuate that movement as you pull your back towards the back of your chair. Inhale as you lift up, and then exhale to round. Good, inhale to lift. And exhale to round. Last one, inhale. This is extension, opening of the front body and engaging through the back body. And then exhale, we're rounding. This is our flexion. Good, and then go ahead and bring it back to center. All right, I'm gonna come facing forward now. And now we're gonna bring our hands behind our head. If that is hard for you to do, that's perfectly fine. You can bring your hands to your thighs and do the same thing, okay? Or you could bring them out to the sides as well and just do the same movement we're gonna do. Try it with the hands behind the head, and the elbows stay wide and the shoulders stay down the back. We're gonna take an inhale, we stay in the nice long spine, and now we exhale, think of bringing the upper body now over the legs to round. And then we inhale, stack the spine back up bone by bone as we lift at the top. And then exhale, roll the spine down as you bring the upper body forward, but keep the belly lifting. And then inhale, stack the spine up and lift. Good, exhale, round. Good, inhale, lengthen. Let's do two more. Exhale. Again, you can bring your arms to the sides if that works, or maybe just bring them to your sides too, all the way down to the side of the chair. Good, last one. And feel the belly pulling in and up even as you round forward and you lift. So you want to keep kind of lifting and lengthening through the front body so you're not just collapsing over. All right, so now we're going to sit up nice and tall, stay where you are, and we're going to start to lift a single leg at a time. So if you can bring your hands behind your head, great. If not, bring your hands to your hips. And we're going to try to keep the hips level, and we're just going to start to lift one leg up, place it down, and then do the same to the other side. Maybe the arms again are down by your sides, maybe they're out to the sides, wherever is comfortable and where you can keep that nice tall spine position. Good, so just a nice easy lift. Now I want you to think of when you're lifting, not moving the spine at all. So I don't want the spine to round as that leg lifts. It's harder than it looks. You want to keep that spine nice and tall. You should feel this front upper leg muscle, your quads working to lift that leg. Good, do one more. Very nice. All right, now we're gonna stay with one leg lifted. This time I want you to bring your arms down by your sides. Lift one leg up. Try to keep this leg parallel with the floor, and you extend the leg forward. That is difficult to do, and then bend it back in. If you need to lower the leg a little bit to extend it, please do that. Again, same thing, keep that spine nice and long, nice and straight the whole time. We just have two more on this side. Extend and bend. We're feeling that again, that quad, extend and bend, and then lower that leg down. Very nice. Good, stay nice and lifted, arms to your sides. Let's go ahead and lift that other leg up. We reach it long and we bend it in. Good, reach and in. Good, extend and in. Two more. And I will say this, the lower your chair is or your stool, the harder this exercise is. So if you're up a little higher, this will be a little bit easier for you. Go ahead and place that foot down. Wonderful job. All right, so we're gonna find some rotation and add it with our rounding. So actually I want you to bring your legs a little bit wider for this one. Now, hands will come behind the head if that works for you. Again, otherwise I would take them out to the sides into a T position. We're gonna rotate towards your right leg. So you're only gonna go so far that you're still in the direction of that right leg. And then we're gonna exhale, round the spine over that leg. So think of rounding over towards that right side, and then you stack the spine back up to come back to the top. And then we come through center. Maybe your arms are out to that T. You exhale, round forward. Again, pull the belly up, and then you stack the spine back up and then through center. Good, back over to your right. Exhale, round. Good, stack up. Good, rotate. Good, to your left, exhale, round. Good, stack, lift. One more each side. Good, up to center, last one. Rotate nice and tall. Exhale, round. And then bring it all the way back up and lift. Very nice. Bring your arms down by your sides. All right, we're gonna stay seated here to do some upper body work. So we're gonna get these arms moving now. So we're gonna do what's called goalpost arms. What that means is they look like a football goalpost here with the elbows lifted at the height of the shoulders or as high as you physically can. All right, so in this position, you're gonna think of squeezing the shoulder blades together a little bit behind you so that you can really feel that connection into your back. And then we bring the arms forward. So we're opening and closing our arms, still keeping them at the same height. And with the spine in the same tall position. So even as the arms go back and squeeze, we don't wanna pop the ribs forward too much. So keep everything in that alignment. Good, so we open and close. Good, open and close. Four more. 4, 3, 2, nice. And last one. Good. And then bring the arms down by your sides. So I want you to think of really finding energy through your fingertips, sliding your shoulders down your back. And you're gonna press the arms back a little bit just to feel the backs of the shoulders connect. And then we bring the arms back forward. So we press back, pull the shoulders down and back and together, and then bring them forward. And again, still with that same long spine, neutral alignment. So we press, push. This is called chest expansion if we're doing this on our equipment in the studio. Good, so we press and forward. Good, we have 2 more, and then we're gonna hold the arms back and pulse. So press back. Before you start to pulse, make sure the shoulders are rolling back and down. And then we do long arm pulses, little presses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then lower back down. All right, legs are in this neutral alignment here. We're gonna take these arms back up to our goalpost arms, and we're gonna send them up to the ceiling. At the same time, we're gonna come onto the balls of the feet. So as the arms go up, we're gonna lift the heels, and then we lower the heels as the arms come down. So we lift and lower. So we keep all 5 toes on the mat, and we're really pressing into that big toe so that we're not rolling out to the sides. This is starting to wake up the calves and the back of the legs. We're gonna start to come up to standing in just a moment. Good, press, straighten. Good, and bring it down. Really feel that connection when you bring the elbows down, you squeeze the shoulders down the back. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Good, and bring it down. All right, so I'm gonna turn to the side for this one. You can stay facing forward. I just want you to be able to see me. Again, this is where a higher chair comes in handy. The lower your seat is, the harder this is. So knees and toes facing forward. You're on the very edge of your chair, or close to the edge of your chair. You've got a little, we're still grounded though. All right, we're gonna come up to standing, and what I want you to do is see if you can keep this direction of your toes and your knees. Start to lean forward enough with the upper body that you can bring yourself all the way back up. If you need to have your hands on your thighs to do that, feel free. And then we're gonna sit back down. So we're gonna go ahead and come back down, and then we're gonna sit. And then we're gonna do that again. Again, bring your hands to your thighs if you need a little bit of that help. And then we come up to standing. Good, and then we come back down, and we really have to lean back to find that chair. So maybe come more towards the center of your chair, towards the middle. And then we lean forward, we lift up. When you come back, you need to send your weight into your heels in order to find that chair. Good, 2 more. Forward and lift. Come all the way at the top. Use your glutes to really squeeze. Good, come back into your heels, sit back down. Last one. This one's gonna bring us all the way up to standing. Now we're gonna remain up and standing, but we're gonna take a quick break now, so grab some water and grab a foam roller or another spot to hold on to for our standing exercises. So now we're gonna use our chair or our wall or our countertop, or in my case, the foam roller, to help us with our standing balance poses. So if you're using the chair, you will go ahead and have the chair kind of to your side, maybe in front of you. You will kind of walk through what the best position is. I'm gonna take my stool and just bring it off to the side, just because I will be using this for my standing position. So keep your chair close by. All right, so with that chair, you're gonna go ahead and bring one hand onto the top of it. And we're gonna find some standing work here. So we're gonna start to wake up the glutes, which are our bottom muscles. So we're gonna find all 4 corners of the feet first. So I really want you to spread your toes and feel that you're nice and grounded into the floor. And I want you to find that same alignment we found on the seat in a standing position. So if you find that your kind of hips lean forward, I want you to pull your hips back so your hips are over your ankles. And that same alignment with the upper body that we talked about is gonna now continue down the body, again with the hips now underneath the ribs, and then the knees kind of right under the hips, and the feet or the ankles right under the knees. So just that kind of that single line up the side of the body. All right, so from here now, we're gonna be doing what's called a modified version of a pelvic list is what it's called. So we're gonna take our right leg, we're gonna keep it on the floor just as is, and our left toe is just gonna touch the floor, okay? So it's just gonna stay there in a bent knee position. Now in this parallel position, our hips are level, just like that. And now we're gonna drop the left hip down. So it's gonna drop towards the floor. You can see that right hip kicks out to the side. Then I want you to use that right glute to lift that leg back up, that left leg. And then we lower it down. I don't want you to don't use your toes of that standing leg. Maybe if you can even take your toes fully off the mat. I want you to make sure you're using just this glute to do that work. So this is strengthening those glute muscles, those balancing muscles, which are those muscles we tend to lose when we get older if we really don't work on them. So great for anything, you know, getting standing balance and alignment, walking, making sure that we're really using our glutes and our backside when we're walking. That's really important in finding our balance and stability. Good. So keep this movement going. Good, and lift. Good, do 2 more. Lift. Last one, and up. All right, go ahead and place that lifted foot down. We're gonna do that on the other side. So now that foot stays grounded, the other toes touch the floor, just touching ever so lightly, or that knee or that foot can come fully off the mat. And again, we're using that outer hip and glute. Now it's your left one to do that work, lifting and lowering the pelvis. Good, lift. Good, and up. Very nice. Sometimes at first these don't feel like much, but when you continue to do them, the same motion, you know, 20, 30, 40 times, you're probably already starting to feel that work through that glute here. And make sure you're really feeling connection to your heel, especially as opposed to your toes. You still want your toes on the mat, but I want that heel really connected. That'll connect into that back line and into that glute. Good, 2 more, 2. Last one. Good, and then place that foot down. Now, we're going to bring the body forward towards the back of your chair or your roller, whatever you're using. We're gonna come back to that, let's see, I think we did your left foot on the mat, okay? And we're gonna take the or maybe it was the other foot. Let's start on that other side. So left foot on the mat first, and we're gonna take that other leg, bring it back behind you. Sometimes my memory, I have a bad short-term memory. You'll learn. All right, so hips are forward, shoulders forward. Good, you're lifting into your core and your upper body, and we're gonna start to lift and lower that leg back behind us. And we're finding that balance that we just found in that pelvic list exercise as we're lifting and lowering that leg. Again, you should feel that glute working of that standing leg, but also in that leg you're lifting and lowering. Let's just do 3 more. Good, try to keep everything else in that upper body nice and still. Last one. Good, and then bring that leg down. We're gonna switch it to the other side. Let's go ahead and bring that leg back. Good, core is lifted and strong. Then we lift that right leg back. You know, when I do these workouts, I try to tell you the opposite leg that I am actually doing, so that when you see me, you're kind of mirroring how I'm doing it. So now that I'm not facing you, I'm trying to remember which side we started on. That's where that confusion comes in. Good, let's go ahead and lift back leg. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring that leg all the way down. All right, so we're gonna stay facing the same direction. We're gonna do that same thing, finding that right leg on the mat. We're gonna lift that right knee up and we're gonna bend it, or right leg up and we're gonna bend it. And we're gonna do press backs. So you're gonna keep the knee bent and press through your heel to bring that leg back. You'll feel a nice opening in the front of your hip and your quad as you do that. Good, 4 more. So imagine that you're pushing your heel into whatever's behind you, your wall or anything, whatever's there, you're trying to press your heel through it. Good, and then bring that side down and we'll switch to the other side again. So lift right knee up, bend the knee, flex through the ankle, and then go ahead and press. Good. Find that core, find that center. So use your glute to press that leg back. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, and then bring it back into center. Very nice. All right, so we're gonna do some calf raises here. So for this one, the chair or whatever it is, you can stay facing the same direction. You're gonna have both hands staying on it. I'll bring mine off to the side just so you can see me. And toes are slightly turned out and heels are together. Now, we're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet. The heels will stay connected and your inner thighs are lifting. You're growing tall towards the ceiling and then you lower back down. So we're doing a turned out position here first. Then we're gonna come back to that parallel stance. This just helps us find our midline in this turned out position. So toes are turned out, knees and hips turned out, and we lift and lower. This is getting into that lower part of that leg, and you should then feel this all the way up the leg as you come as high as you can at the top. Good, let's do one more and then we'll find that parallel position. All right, so now toes come forward, and now we find parallel. And you really want to think of pressing into the big toe, or big toes as you come up. So as you come up and you lift the heels, it's very common to turn onto the outsides of the feet. Try not to do that. Try to keep your big toes pressing down in that big toe joint. Good, so press down, lift, and lower. Very nice. Good, lift and lower. Good, one more, lift and lower. All right, so now let's go ahead and keep your right leg grounded into the floor. And we're gonna find a little lifting of the leg out to the side. So you're going to take that left leg, you're gonna stay nice and balanced on that right side, and we're gonna start to lift it up, bring it out, and then we'll bring it back down next to the other one. So it's flexed when it's close to the other leg, then you can lift it, point the toe, and then bring it back down. Good, lift, point. Good, and lower. Good, lift, point, nice, and lower. Good, 3 more, 3, 2, and last one. Good, and lower all the way down. Let's go ahead and switch it to the other side. So left foot on the mat. Good, right leg will lift, come out. Good, flex, bring it in. Good, try not to put the weight back into that right leg if you can stand it. So try not to take the strength work out of this standing leg. We're trying to keep that right leg fully off the mat. So even when you flex it and pull it back towards that other leg, it's still staying lifted. And that just keeps that connection in that other leg and makes it harder too. Good, last one, lift and lower. Very nice. Go ahead and shake those legs out. Now, we're gonna try to do it without anything, so without a chair, without a roller, and we're gonna do an opposite arm leg lift. So we're back in that parallel, or we're still in that parallel position. And I want you to take your right leg, you're gonna bring it up to tabletop as that left arm comes up to the ceiling. And then you place that down and we switch to the other side. Good, And now if that's too hard with the arms lifting, keep your arms by your sides and just try to lift that single leg. And if that's even still too hard, take your hand to your chair, so it's on to the side, and find some balance as you do that. Right, so lots of options. We want to just have you keep moving. It doesn't matter how you get there, but just keep that going. So you take whatever you need and just doing that alternating leg lift, maybe adding the arms. If not, that's okay. Good. Let's do one more each side. All right, so I'm gonna put my foam roller off to the side. If you're still using your chair, I would like you to keep it there because I'm actually gonna grab my stool here. Have your blanket handy. We're gonna use it in a second. I want you to come onto your hands on your chair. You might need to bend your knees a little bit. My stool, again, is a little bit low. So we're gonna do cat and cow here. So it's just a spinal movement. So keep your feet nice and flat. Bend your knees as you lift your heart and chest through the arms and look up towards the ceiling a little. Now exhale, straighten your legs, drop your head around your spine. Really feel that nice stretch through that back. Inhale, bend the knees. Maybe the elbows bend a little bit too. Lift the heart and chest, arch your back. Exhale, round. Let's do one more just like that. Inhale, lengthen, extend, lift, and exhale, round. All right, this is where I would like you to grab your blanket or towel, and you're gonna place it over the seat of the chair. If your seat is already cushioned, this might not even be necessary. And if your seat is a little bit rounded on the edges, you might need to stay with this cat and cow version that we just did. But if it's flat, go ahead and lower yourself down onto your belly, okay? Now, your knees are bent, your toes are on the floor, and your fingertips probably should graze the floor at least. But I want your spine nice and long, so I don't want you hanging over the edge. I want you staying connected. Long line from the crown of your head to your pelvis. Your sitting bones are nice and wide. Now we're going to start to lift your left leg straight back behind you, reach it long, and then bend it in, place it back down. Switch to your other side. Right leg reaches. Good, and then bring it down. Good, and we're going to alternate here. We're keeping everything super still except for that moving leg. Good, reach, extend. Now we're going to start moving the opposite arm if that feels okay. So we're going to send the left leg back and the right arm's going to reach forward as close and as high as your ear as you can, and then lower that back down. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg. Reach, extend, left arm, right leg. Good, and then bring it back down. Make sure those shoulder blades are pulling down the back. We're really working those back muscles here. Good, reach, extend. Good, and lower. Maybe you're just moving the leg, that's okay. I just want you to stay nice and long in that upper body as well. Last one. Good, and bring it down. Now, keeping your feet grounded, go ahead and bring your hands to your forehead so your elbows are nice and wide. Now, keeping your feet where they are, I want you to see if you can lift the upper body just a little bit, really tiny. The elbows stay down, up and back, and the shoulders stay down, and then we lower it back down, okay? Maybe you keep your fingers towards the floor and just lift the upper spine ever so slightly, and the fingers stay connected to the floor, or maybe they come off the floor just a little bit. I'm really low to the ground, so my fingers will stay connected. So we draw the shoulders down and back, pull the belly in, and lift through the upper back and really feel that connection into your upper back. And then we lower it down. Good, 2 more. Pull the belly in and up away from your chair. Lift the upper body up and lower. Good, if you have your hands connected to your forehead, that's great. You can keep them there. You probably maybe won't come up as high. Good, and lower back down. Very nice. Okay, go ahead and come up and off your chair and back up to a standing position. Now, we're gonna keep our hands on the chair and round the spine. So because what we did is called extension, that is a little slight arching of the back, mostly to really strengthen those upper back muscles. But we always like to do this rounded position just to counteract that arching of the spine. Good. So now from here, I want you to walk your legs out back behind you, and your hands can walk forward on your chair, and you're trying to get into an L-shaped position. So you're in a straight line from your hands to your pelvis, and then from your sitting bones all the way down to the back of your legs. This is a really nice stretch for the back, for the sides, for your hamstrings. It just should feel really, really good. If you can't get into a straight back, just do what you can. Maybe you're more up here on your fingertips with a straight back, but I do want you to try to find that straight spine as much as possible. Good. Now while you're here, bend one leg at a time. So bend your right knee, let that left hip kick out to the side. And then straighten both legs, bend the left knee, let the right hip kick out to the side. Good, and then switch again. This gets a deeper stretch into the hamstrings. Good, and switch. Good, and now I want you to let your hands come towards the floor. They may not make it, that's okay, until you're in a rounded forward fold position. And you're gonna maybe take a slight bend in the knees as you start to stack the spine all the way up to standing. Inhale, the head will come up. Last, as you stand up nice and tall, and then exhale, chin to chest. We roll all the way down. Good, so let's do that again. We roll back up, we stack the spine. So think hips come on top of the legs, and then the ribs on top of the hips, and then shoulders, neck, and head. We've got one more like that, rolling down. Head comes down first, then upper back, mid back, low back, and round. Good, last one, roll and stack, coming all the way up. All right, let's come back to that seated position on your chair. You can keep your blanket or towel there for a little extra cushioning. We're gonna do some shoulder rolls and some neck stretches. So arms are just gonna be down by your sides, actually. We start to roll those shoulders forward, up, and back. Good, so we're trying to find that seated alignment that we found at the beginning and throughout class. So feel if you can feel that connection, if it's a little easier for you now to find that position. Good, do one more. And then drop your shoulders down. Let's drop that left ear towards left shoulder. Go ahead and bring it up to center. And then other ear towards the other shoulder. Honor if you feel that one side feels a little tighter than the other. We need to give that tighter side a little extra love. Let's do one more each side. Good, center and over. Good, and lift. All right, well, thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed that. If this was your first class with me, please go ahead and leave a comment below. And whether it's your first class or not, please just say hi. Let me know what you thought of this class. And I would just love to hear from you all. So thank you guys so much. If you are interested in checking out a couple other videos, I'm gonna link one that I think will be great for you here. And then I'm going to link another one. This is my most recent video here. So go ahead and check those out. And I look forward to seeing you back here on the mat next time. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'll see you soon.